Hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I've been putting off making this video for 3 months basically at this point, and now we're like mid-March. I'm extremely sleepy and I have a headache like blooming behind my eyes, but I was like just looking on YouTube for something to watch, and I was just like, why am I trying to watch something when I could be making something? So here we are making the video. I just pulled up the old letterboxd, and we're gonna talk about my favorite movies I've seen in the last few months. Really, it was supposed to be a favorite movies I've seen in 2025 list, and it still kind of is. But I chickened out of making this video so many times. Here is the list. You can find it on Letterboxd. I'm lowercase Lena, like on every platform. Here's the list. I'll put a screenshot up. I'm gonna talk about these 16 movies that I first watched in 2025. Then I had the idea to make it like lowercase award show, but I had to make up categories and I can try to make them on the spot. So for me, the like favorites list is a living document. I usually start a list early in the year, a private list, and I just add to it as movies like hit me in the year, and then at the end of the year I review the movies I've added to see if, with some time that has passed since I've watched them, to see if I still feel like they're it for me. And then I add movies that I watched more recently or that I didn't think would have a lasting impact but have had a lasting impact. And so this was the list that I settled on at the end of 2025. The first movie that made it onto this list is Cabaret by Bob Fosse. And if I had to give it an award, it would be for most terrifyingly relevant to our political situation. So what can I say about Cabaret by Bob Fosse? See, the thing that like makes me so anxious about filming these videos, about like making lists of things, is that you have to pitch the movie and you have to adequately and like be accurate in your description of it, which is a huge like pressure to adequately sell the movie. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking way too much about this, but so Bob Fosse's Cabaret is about a cabaret in 1930s Berlin, where Liza Minnelli and a young gay man become friends. This man is from England, and 1930s Berlin was uniquely queer and also uniquely on the brink of becoming a hotspot of the Nazi regime. And first of all, I love this movie. Maybe this time was in my top 5 most listened songs on Spotify last year. Yep. And it is also a great karaoke peak. Like, I love this song. Also, as like I have a lower singing voice, and it still allows me to like belt and give an impressive karaoke performance without like getting too high on the highs. So that's what I love about it. I love the music, I love the dancing. I mean, Bob Fosse, all that jazz is in my current top 4 because I love that movie so much. And yeah, it's just way too relevant to our political situation, especially in France currently. It is dire out here. Like, it's bad. I don't even, yeah. Next movie that I loved last year, Y tu mamá tambien. Win for most heartbreaking friendship breakup. Y tu mamá tambien is about these two boys in Mexico who go on a road trip with a woman, and they both try to seduce the woman to dance around the fact that they want each other in a way. And it's on the backdrop of this moment of political unrest in Mexico. And oh yeah, I didn't say the director, Alfonso Cuaron, directed Y tu mamá tambien. I think this movie, I mean, I knew I would like it, but I didn't expect it to be this sad. And it was tender and horny, and yeah, like the ending is so sad. I don't know. I like road movies. I like threesomes that are a bad idea. I like friendship. I like movies where political turmoil is text and subtext. Like, what's not to like about this movie? I'm not being as eloquent as I wish I was. Like, whatever. Okay. Next movie that I loved is soundtrack to Coup d'etat by Johan. You know, that's what I get for learning German for 10 years. I do not speak fluent German, but I do have a weird impulse whenever I read names starting in J to read them as if they were German names. Like Johan, like that's not his name, he's Belgian. Johan Grimonprez. I love this movie. I love that movie. First of all, I'm not a huge documentary person. I've become one. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a documentary person. I've warmed up to documentaries. I think I talked about it last year. I've really warmed up documentaries. And this one is like one of the finest specimen of its genre. Like, it's just so smart and weird. Wait, I have to tell you what it is about. So it's basically about the ties between jazz and like the civil rights movement in the US and the anti-colonial movements in Africa at the same time, and how that kind of solidarity was twisted by American and Western institutions to undermine the anti-colonial movement. It's so well edited. It's basically all archival footage of the 60s music videos, 60s like political speeches. It's really such a rich text, and I love that you can go into it not knowing much about it, and you will be confused at first, and then it will make sense because the footage is edited to the music in a way that the lyrics of the music tell you what you need to understand, and the pace of it and the musicality of it is a storytelling tool in itself. It's so powerful and strong and emotional. It's a really, really, really well crafted documentary, and I think everyone should watch it. Like, it's really fucking good. So yeah. Next movie I want to talk about. This one is kind of controversial. I've not met any people actually who feel the way I feel about Queer by Luca Guadagnino. First of all, there's kind of a Luca Guadagnino hate train going on. And I'm not on that train. Like, I've not seen After the Hunt, but for me, every movie I've seen of his has hit and has been like a new experience. And I guess he's both commercial and altruistic in a way. So I understand that some people might be confused by his unwillingness to be confined to one singular thing that he does. But I think one thing he does consistently across his movies is explore the question of desire and of the embodiment. And Queer shows how shame and loneliness twist your relationship to your desires. And I mean, there is a 24-minute voice note of me going batshit crazy about this movie, because that's how crazy it made me when I first watched it. It's about Daniel Craig, who plays this American in Mexico, and he has sex with a young man, and he comes across this other American who's who he can't really tell if he's queer or if he's straight, and he's addicted to heroin, I think. And they start having this sexual relationship, but he can never tell how much of that relationship is transactional and how much is something that he actually wants and seeks. And so they go into the depth of the forest to have some kind of like drug fueled epiphany kind of thing, and nothing that they think is gonna happen happens. And I think that movie is like, first of all, in the tailoring, the clothes, the set, like the miniatures, the everything, the cinematic techniques. There's a point where Daniel Craig is fantasizing about touching the younger man's face, and so his hand like becomes a ghost that does touch his face, and it's such a beautifully potent way of representing desire and yearning, and it really hit. Yeah, it was really, really fucking good. I know some people, who hated it. I still don't really understand why. To me, it really understood something about the loneliness of the queer experience. Especially, like, I feel like the 1950s is such a different time from our time, and it's based on the book of William S. Burroughs, who did kill his wife. I mean, it's pretty bad, but he's dead, so it's not like he can't profit from this anymore. But I think about this movie a lot. That voice note is never to be released because I'm having like a truly epic spiral about this movie. Like, wow. Okay, what's next on my list? Sinners, of course. How can I make a best of 2025 list without Sinners? Sinners. What can I say about Sinners that hasn't been said? Do I need to tell you what it's about? Vampires, black music, fucking awesomeness. It's the kind of movie that to me make me feel like working in this industry is worth it, because it feels like never done before. It's a musical movie to an extent. Like, I still see it as a musical movie because to me the music is such a huge part of the storytelling and the world building and understanding who these characters are and what they do. Like I lied to you. Fuck. If it doesn't win at the Oscars, I'm gonna be so mad and sad and perturbed and upset and like, because that song, like, I think I literally had a transcendent experience in that theater. Like, I had never seen anything like it before. Like, I truly, like, I experienced something in my body and in my mind that felt like God. Like, sorry for the blasphemy, but that was like fucking divine. Like, every time I talk about it, I start getting tears, like I start tearing up because it felt like a religious experience. Like, it felt like a moment of communion. And it's like, fuck, it was so good and so thoughtful and so, yeah, I'm crying about it again. Yeah, I don't know. It's so good. I love Sinners so much. It's really one of the movies that make me think like, oh, this shit is worth it. This shit like changes lives and things and fuck, it's so good. Like, I have nothing else to say about Sinners. Like, I have many things to say, but none that are new to anyone on this planet. So yeah, I fucking love Sinners. Honestly, Ryan Coogler, he absolutely has the range, and he's a really, really powerful storyteller. And yeah, I hope he gets recognition, even if it's not from that Oscar season. And I think what he managed to do, like, on an industry level, having the rights to his creation, like, that's, like, to me, like, in France, it's, the legal framework is different, and that is what gives power to directors and filmmakers, and that is why our industry is so different too. And to see that he managed to impose that framework in Hollywood and to make that movie this big and to make that movie talk to so many people, it's like so inspiring to me, like on a career level. Like, I don't want to direct, but I mean, who doesn't want to meet a Ryan Coogler and work with a Ryan Coogler? Like, the respect that he has for everyone he works with, so inspiring. And like, yeah, this is the shit. Like, this is a superstar. I don't know, like, Hall of Fame forever. So yeah. Okay, next movie. Oh, now we're getting into the Cannes bit. If you didn't know, I went to the Cannes Film Festival last year with my cohort. It was fun. I watched a lot of, I mean, I didn't watch that many films actually. Like, I was actually disappointed by the amount of films that I watched. I fell asleep a lot during movies. I also wanted to make a video about this and I also chickened out. It's a pattern. But yeah, okay, we're getting into the Cannes films that I saw. Next one is The President's Cake, by Hasan Hadi. It's an Iraqi movie about two children who are tasked by their professor to make a cake for the president's birthday, the president being Saddam Hussein, and who find themselves in a big city trying to look for the ingredients to make the cake, even as they have little to no money, as they come from a very poor village in the countryside, and they are children who have no resources. And so they face different parts of Iraqi society, and I think that movie to me was really good at being on the level of a child and showing what a child sees, like with honesty. Like, of course, children see war, they see death, they see danger, but they also see opportunity and play and family and love. And it's a quite a sad movie, but really beautiful, and the child actors are really, really striking in this. I think their gazes are so strong and warm and hopeful, and it is really heartbreaking and beautiful film. And yeah, I think everyone should watch that movie. I really enjoyed that, and it really stayed with me even after it can. So next movie I want to talk about is another Oscar hopeful, Sentimental Value, which, okay, I love Sentimental Value. I love stories about sisters and fathers and families that love each other but are dysfunctional and can't quite make it. I think also I like the honesty of it, coming from a director whose family was in filmmaking. I think sometimes there's a coyness about that connection, and I think that here it's very transparent that it's a filmmaker's film, as I like to call them, because it's about being part of creation and the sacrifices of that, and sometimes realizing that you made sacrifices that you didn't intend to and the consequences of that. And I think there's some really, really, really beautiful sequences that are so impactful, and I really love the bond between the sisters. Like, I have a sister who is much older than me and who was a parentified adult, like a parentified child in our home, but I still think, like, I think really with a lot of compassion and heartbreak about what she shielded me from as another child. And yeah, I really, that's that acknowledgement that, well, you turned out how you turned out, and that's because someone was there to keep you safe from the worst of just like being a child in the world in general is like really beautiful. So I'm crying a lot. That's the headache and the tiredness. All of that. It's all adding up. Okay, then, another controversial pick. So sirat makes it into this list. Why? Okay, so you know how I said in Sinners I had a religious experience. I wouldn't say that sirat is quite the same, but I think to me this year, when I thought about movies that really struck me, almost all movies I picked I saw in theaters. And I think that has something to do with caring a lot about the theatrical experience and about how I feel movies in my body, and less so intellectually. Even if I'm receptive to a political message or an ideological message in a movie, and I think my picks reflect that, I think that I'm more receptive to what the movie makes me feel and unlocks. And I think Sirat unlocked something for me. I think it's a combination of the music and the loudness and the shock of it, that is so, it's like a perfect theatrical experience in a lot of ways. Like, yeah, it's a perfect theatrical experience. Like, what else can you expect from sitting down in a dark room and letting images and sound enter you? Like, this is how I felt about Sirat. And even if now I know about the controversial shooting of the movie in Western Sahara, etc., and I understand the implications of that, I still think it's worth it for me to highlight this movie as achieving something in like sensation making that is really powerful and strange, and I hadn't felt much elsewhere. Yeah, this is my defense of Sirat. Like, I'm not gonna defend the like screenplay choices or the production choices because they're not mine too, and I think the interpretation that everyone makes of that storyline is valid. But I think what I felt in my body was so new and spectacular that I can't pretend that this movie didn't do something to me. Yeah. And I think yeah, to me that was a movie that asked you to surrender your expectations and just let yourself be hurt. Am I in a am I in a BDSM relationship with Sirat? Oh yeah, I forgot to say the name of the director. Oliver Laxe. Okay, another batched and cinematic experience. I saw Playtime by Jacques Tati in 70mm at the Cinematheque last summer. It was my first Tati film. Playtime is basically about 24 hours in this retro-futuristic Paris, following a group of American tourists and a man who keeps getting into situations. I love that movie once again because of how big it was, of how big it swung, of how much visually there is always going on in the frame. It's like deep depth of field all the time. And I mean, if you go bankrupt building these sets, yes, you have to show them. Let's not let them drown in bouquet. Like, that is unacceptable. So I love spending time in the world of a movie. I love that sometimes you're in the same spot for like 30 minutes. You're in that dancing and they're going fucking crazy. The set is falling, like everything is falling apart, and it's funny, it's like genius. It's really a movie about movement and sound. Like, I feel like I sound like an asshole, but like it's the essence of film. Like, people going places, moving across the frame, and just like sound, the texture, the world, the music. It's like there's few dialogue, and the dialogue isn't that important. I love that movie. Like, it's so good. It's so good. I love it so much. Next, I watched Drylongso by Colleen Smith. That movie, it's about a photography student who takes pictures of the black men in her area, and she's faced with the death of men in her community, and how she deals with that through art and friendship. I really love that movie. I really love that main character taking Polaroids, making installations, that friendship between the two girls was really beautiful to me, and somewhat homoerotic, if I do say so myself. But I don't know. It was Luca Guadagnino that said that every great film is gay. Well, I believe that. Like I truly believe that every great film has gayness in it. Like it's, well, I love that movie. There's a scene in the movie where she's reading from a tarot, and I was so struck by those cards that I was like, oh, I have to find them. So I looked them up, and I find the deck, but it's been updated since the 90s. And the recent deck, I don't love the imagery and the layout of the cards as much. So I tried to dig into like, okay, which edition of the deck could it be? And I figure out what edition it is. And then I look up on eBay, Etsy, selling for hundreds of dollars. Like, I think the cheapest one I saw was like $70, but that was before shipping. I live in France. Shipping and duties have gotten crazy in this last few years. So I'm like, oh, too bad. But you know what? I tried the reverse Google image search. I hit up the keywords, and I come across this Instagram shop that is selling exactly the deck I want for $10. I don't know if you understand. I think I couldn't get my hands on this for less than 100 euros. And I love tarot, but I'm not about to spend 100 euros on a tarot deck before shipping and taxes and everything. She's a seller on Instagram, like a shop in Georgia. She's selling for $10. So I messaged her like, hey, is this deck still available? It is. And so she shipped it to me. The shipping cost more than the deck. The shipping was 27 euros. That's how bad shit has gotten. I used to ship things from the US for 5 euros in 2016. Well, I know about externalities and like paying the emissions, paying the workers, etc. That's fine. Honestly, whatever. Wait, let me show you the deck. I really want to show you the deck because it's really good. Okay, let me get a sip of water first. Okay, so it's basically an Orisha tower deck, which means it's inspired by West African beliefs, like pre-colonial beliefs, and it has those beautiful like indigo dark blue backs. And then where was the card I loved from? Wait, and it has black figures, which I love. There are not a lot of tower decks with black figures, and some of them I don't like the naive. Well, I won't say the naive, but sometimes I don't like. And I think the imagery kind of fits into Afro-descendant history sometimes. Like, wait, it's not Western centric. Okay, I love the moon. She's gorgeous. She's lovely. But honestly, I haven't used it as much as I wanted to. But then I have to spit because only 25 minutes. This one is so funny. Gnome. Let me put this here. Should I do a tarot reading once? I feel like I should. I have 3 different decks now. See, you have figures such as the enslaved prisoner, which is not in the Rider-Waite tarot and is clearly based on like the slave trade and the history of black people in the world. Which one do I want to show? Yeah, so I was saying I have 3 tarot. I love this one as well, the sun. 3 tarot decks. I have a regular Rider-Waite. I have Klimt painting Rider-Waite, whose imagery I quite love. And I have this one. See, you have Oshun. But yeah, I love tarot. I got into tarot because of the Raven cycle. I know. I'm such a nerd. I'm gonna get a tarot tattoo in the upcoming years. I love this one as well. The earth, the world, actually, but they call it the earth. I'm gonna get a tarot tattoo. I've actually found this tattoo artist. Oh, I love this one. In South Korea, who has this style of tattooing and who does color tattoos. I love this one as well. But I don't know if I'm gonna pay to go to South Korea just for a tattoo and then pay for the tattoo. Maybe I should wait for him to do a guest spot in France. I don't know. I don't know where to put my phone now. It's always happened. This is the problem with that couch, is that whenever I get up from it, now I don't know where my phone is anymore. Oh shit. Oh no, there it is. Okay, so that's how much I love that movie. Like, I tracked down someone's indie Instagram shop to get the tarot deck from that movie. And that's also how I am in life in general. Like, if I want something, I'm gonna get it. Like, it's... Then I watched Sorry Baby by Eva Victor. Love that movie. Yeah, it's about an English professor who is dealing with the aftermath of being raped by her thesis advisor, who she used to trust. And it's also about friendship and about recovery and resilience and loss. And I really enjoyed how it portrayed the difficulty of dealing with that kind of life experience and continuing to live life even if it's really hard, and finding pockets of joy and things to live for and starting to see the future. It's really beautiful, beautifully shot, acted, written, directed, Eva Victor, Naomi Aki. I mean, yeah, it's a great film. And next film that's on my list, Theorem by Pasolini. My first Pasolini. Why was this movie on my radar? I think because Broy Deschanel mentioned it when she reviewed Saltburn, and I was curious because I love the talented Mr. Ripley, so I knew that, well, what can I say? I knew that it would be in my preview. And I loved it. I think, okay, so it's about a bourgeois family in 1960s Italy. Mother, father, brother, sister, who receive a guest in their home, and the guest proceeds to have sexual relationship with all of them, and it drives them crazy, and so does the maid, and the maid becomes essentially a saint, and the guest disappears and just leaves madness in his wake. I really, this is once again, I feel like I've been looking for God in movies. Sounds really ominous when I say it like that, but you can see a through line in these movies. Like, I think I haven't been going to church, and I've been looking for these experiences of being confused and befuddled and awed in front of a screen, surrounded by people receiving sounds. Like, and this is what this movie achieved. It's, I've read about the Marxist readings, the religious readings, and I understand them intellectually, but what I felt during that movie was not an intellectual experience. It was a sensory one. And it was, once again, the question of desire, displacing things and twisting things and making things untenable in the injustice, in their, like, making them bare. That's really interesting to me. So I will try to watch maybe more Pasolini, but honestly, it's very hard to get me to watch consistently one director. I get scatterbrained, honestly. Okay, what's next on my list? Okay, that was really the summer of seeing heritage film. Like, because that in that one, I think in like late July, early August, I watched Playtime, Drylongso, Theorem, and Yi. I love Yi. It was my first Edward Yang. God, I loved it. First of all, the colors, the frames, like the composition, the reflections. I love his obsession for the everyday and the mundane, because really Yi is just a story of two families intersecting at a point in time in 2000s Taiwan, like right before the millennium, basically. It's really beautiful and also somewhat through the eyes of a child. And it's obviously a filmmaker's film, and the child at the heart of it is a kind of avatar for the filmmaker, which I used to be annoyed by, but I feel sometimes touched by. And I really had this experience while watching Yi, that I was living with those characters and going through those changes with them: marriage, birth, death, love, breaking up, just life. And sometimes media that is just life feels pretentious and unearned, but this was really beautiful and earned. So I adored that movie, and I think it's the kind of movie that's just really touching. Okay. Next, I watched Nino by Pauline Loquès. Nino is about a guy who finds out that he has throat cancer, and he has to freeze his sperm before his chemotherapy starts. But he's locked out of his apartment, and he's like cum shy and he can't jerk off in the public toilets. So, and it sounds like it could be a comedy or a drama, like a straight up sad drama, and it's kind of neither. And it stars Théodore Pellerin, who is so beautiful. Like, I'm shocked. Like, he has kind of a weird face, but it's a very appealing weird face. And I think like his big ears, his nose, his eyes, his really prominent Adam's apple bobbing is really endearing and lovely. And so he's just like going through Paris in one weekend, talking to people, trying to maybe mostly failing to tell people about his sickness and trying to make connections. And it's a really bittersweet film. It's really open and loving and funny and really sexy too. Like, honestly, one of the most intriguing scenes, they have like phone sex through a baby phone at some point, and that was so good. That was really hot. And there's also a scene where he gives like a hormone shot to a woman who's like doing a kind of IVF procedure, and then afterwards they kiss, and then afterwards they laugh because they're like, we've been friends for so long, like what's going on? And there's just this thing about this adrenaline of caring for one another, loving each other, the blurring of that boundary. Very good. Loved it. Yeah. Honestly, it doesn't make me think of another sex scene of a movie that's not on that list, because I had to cap it somewhere, but it's a Canadian movie called Amour Apocalypse, and there's an almost sex scene in there where basically the female character has a husband and children, and this guy, he's a total loser. He has like eco anxiety, all of it. And they're in this house and they're not gonna have sex. But he's like hovering over her body and not touching, but kind of doing this eye contact thing. And it's like, oh my god, so fucking good. It's really, really good. It's really good. It's like, honestly, there were a lot of interesting things to say about sex in Cannes. Like, I watched Pillion in Cannes. Really interesting as well. Next movie that made it onto my list is Charade by Stanley Donen, but really, it's Audrey Hepburn film. I just, I wish I knew how much fun classics can be and how artful and joyous and romantic they can be. That was a blast. Like, Audrey Hepburn and Cary Grant are such a hoot. I love that they're all lying to each other all the time. I love the chase in the Paris metro. It's so smart. It's so suspenseful. It's so beautiful. It's so elegant. There's Audrey Hepburn in it. I mean, what more do you want? What more do you want? Yeah, I love that movie. It really makes me think I should get into screwball comedies. I should get into like 1940s American films, but there's only so many hours in a day. I'm gonna go to the movie theater 3 times this week. Like, that's how, like, not all weeks, not every week, but I have a subscription. I have to make it worth it. Okay, last movie that was on the list is Des Preuves d'Amour by Alice Dois, which is also known as Love Letters, but I think it's not as good as Des Preuves d'Amour, which is essentially proof of love, which refers to the letters that friends and family of gay couples seeking to adopt a child born from an IVF procedure have to write to convince the authorities to allow them to be the adoptive parent of their partner's child. God, that movie. Once again, this is a movie that is about the bodily experience. So it's about a lesbian couple, one who is pregnant and the other who is not, and she has to adopt their soon-to-be child. And so she's going through like people she knows and trying to reconnect with her absent mother to get these letters that are so crucial to the adoption. And it's so like, I don't want to be a mother, like, and I've watched 3 movies last year that kind of have this theme of gayness and motherhood, or lesbianism and motherhood. And I think I picked this one because it's the one that made me live my own experience the most. And at the same time, I understand the power of seeing yourself on screen. Like, I just cried about Sinners like 15 minutes ago, so I get it. But I think experiencing something that makes you leave your own circumstances and leave your body is equally powerful at the movie theater. And if we want to receive, we have to give. And if we want to give, we have to receive. Like, it's a two-way street. Like, and in that moment, in the theater, in that movie, I experienced the joy that it would be to first hold your newborn child. And I'm probably never going to experience that because it's not something that I see as a building block of my life. But in that moment, I felt that intense rush of joy and fear and like hope. And that was crazy. And I think I love that this movie, while not idealistic, chose to highlight things about the health system, about the people around the couple that really worked for me. And that was not what you'd expect from a movie about 2 women in love, one of whom giving birth. Okay, I'm done. It took me 1 hour to talk about all of these movies that I loved last year. At first I did the categories, but then I forgot that I was supposed to do the categories. I got on a side quest showing you my tarot deck, my Orisha tarot deck. I don't know if I'm gonna edit this video and post it. If I do, it will probably, I don't know. I hope I can manage to find a way to be online in a way that is authentic and joyful to me and manageable in between work and class and everything. I don't know how people do this with full-time jobs. Like, this is beyond. This takes so much. And it's rewarding in other ways, and this is why I do it, but it takes so much. Okay, thank you for listening. I hope you go on to watch and enjoy and even love and adore some of these movies. And let me know. Yeah, I'm gonna do, let me know which movies have made you feel things in your body lately. What's the movie that had you going somewhere else, feeling something transcendent? I want to know. I'm chasing that. I'm chasing that sensation. I'm chasing that out-of-body experience. Okay, thank you. Bye. I'm getting my ass to sleep now.